Good evening, guys. Hey, good evening. Guys, I'm audible. Is my voice is clear? No. Hello. So I hope my voice is clear. So just post a hi, welcome, or plus one in chat box. Okay, good. So let's start. So today in Skill you have five problems, correct? So we are going to see how to solve all these five problems, and if possible, we can go and see for the MCQs. Okay. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open the questions. Okay, I hope my question is visible. So this is our first question. So given an array of n positive integers are passed as the input. An array of n positive integers are passed as the input. So d, which is a positive integer, is also passed as the input. The program must print the largest element in the array, which is divisible by D. Okay, good. So if none of the element in the array is divisible by D, then print minus 1 as the output. So that's fair enough. It is a very easy problem. And the same problem was asked in what is it organization? So before 2 days, there was a drive which was happening for your seniors. The same problem they were asked, but there is a little change. Instead of here we are giving as one value, they wanted to give two value. So the problem is you are given an array of value. They are supposed to take pair of values, and that pair of value should be divisible by the given b. So that is the only change. So that was a problem which was given in um, what is it? Code Mesh. Code Mesh first round for Java developers. That was the first question. And this is a type of question. It's very similar to that. Okay. So first what we are going to do is, so I hope the question is clear. I hope the question is clear. Okay, let's try to solve this problem. So here they have given us, so they have given an n positive integers. So we are supposed to create an array which has to store n positive integers, and also we are supposed to get a variable d which is a positive integer, and also it should be divisible. This d should divide the all the values or any one value which is divisible, which should be divisible by d that is present in array n. Okay, fine. So now what we are going to do is, among these divided values, among the values which are divisible by d, we are going to take the maximum out of it. That's what the problem that we are going to see. Okay. Okay, sir. Let's take an example and let's try this out. So, for example, okay. So, I hope this screen is visible. I hope this notepad is visible. Okay. So, here they are given an array. So, this array of size n. So, for that, I'll be having size n. So, let's consider the array size is going to be 5. And I'm having the value as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And the value to be divisible by, that is going to be divided, that is going to be 5. So now what I have to do is, I have to select the value which can be divisible by d, and also that should be the maximum among all these divisible values. So for example, in the given array, there is only one value which can be divisible by 5, which is a value that can be divisible by 5. So good. So 5 is the only value which can be divisible by 5. So what we are going to do is, we are going to take a temporary flag value which is going to store the maximum out of all these values. So right now I'm assigning, since if there is any no more values or can be divisible by d, then I should return it as minus 1. So the max is going to be minus 1. So with that, what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to start my loop. So for int I equal to 0, I less than my n, and then I plus plus. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to take the first element, and with that first element, I'm going to check whether this can be divisible by 5 or not. So that's the first constraint that they are given. So is my array of I is divisible by given divider, that is going to be D. If it is equal to 0, if it is equal to 0, and if it is divisible by 0, then we have to get the maximum out of that divided value. So right now what we are doing, we are going to save the maximum in max variable. So now I'm going to check. So the given value, which is going to be array of I, if it is greater than max, if it is greater than max, then what I'm doing is I'm just going to change the max equal to array of 5. That's it. So now at last, at the end of my loop, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to return my max. So that's what they're asking us. If there is a divider which is a maximum, then we are getting it as max. If there is no divider, then we'll be getting the max value as -1. So now let's take an example. Let's take another example. So now I'm having the same array size as 5 and array. So the array is going to have the values of, so 10, 20, 15, 5, 35. So these are the array values that I have. So now, and the divider is going to be same 5. So now tell me, who is going to be maximum value? Who's going to be maximum value here? So 35 is the maximum value. So now what we are going to do is, we are going to check with an example. So as we already given an algorithm, we are going to check with this. So first time what I'll be doing is, so first time I'll be taking the index 0. So now the index 0, the value of the index 0 is going to be 10. So here I'll be getting the value as 10, and I'm checking whether this value is divisible by 5 or not. So whether it is divisible by 5, yes, it is divisible by 5. So now, and also I'm checking whether this is the maximum value. So right now the maximum has a value of -1. Whether the given value, that is going to be 10, is greater than my -1 or not. Yes, it is greater than my -1. So now what I'm doing is I'm just changing my max to 10. So now next what I've been now next what happens, I'll be incrementing my I. So I will increment to from 0 to 1. So now at the index of 1, I'll be taking the value 20. So now again I'm going to check this. So here there's going to be 20 modulo 5. Yes, this is also divisible by 5. So now what happens? So now I'm checking. Already the max contains a value of 10. So now the value at the index is going to be 20. Now who's maximum? 20 is maximum. So now what I'm doing is I'm changing my max to 20. So now again my index will increment. So now the index will increment from 1 to 2. So now at the index of 2, I have the value of 15. So now I'll be checking whether 15 modulo 5 is equal to 0. Yes, it is equal to 0. Now I'm checking. Now the maximum has a value of 20 and the array value is going to be 15. Now I'm comparing. Either 15 is greater than my 20. No, 15 is not greater than my 20. So I'll be keeping as it is. So max will not be changed. So now again I'm checking. So now the index will increment. So index will increment from 2 to 3. So now at the index of 3, I have the value of 5. So 5 modulo 5. So 5 modulo 5, that is equal to 0. That is a condition true. Now I'm checking whether 20 is less than 5. No, the condition becomes false because 20 is greater than my 5. So the max will not be changed. So now I'm taking the next index. So next index is going to be 4. So now 35 modulo 5, is it divisible by 5? Yes, it is divisible by 5. Now I'm checking whether 20 is less than my 35. Yes, 20 is less than my 35. So now I'm changing my max to 35. Good. So obviously max will get the maximum value out of it. So now can we check with the next example? So for example, the same n equal to 5 and array equal to 2, 4, 6, 8 and 12, and the divisible equal to 5. Now what will be the value? What will be the maximum value here? Is any one value in my given array, is it divisible by 5? No, no value is divisible by 5. So what we are going to do is, so as usual, you can check it. So either 2 is divisible by 5, no 2 is not divisible by 5. Since it is going to be an AND operation, so all the conditions, so since it is an AND operation, it will not go for my right hand side condition itself, correct? When, since we are using AND operation, if my left hand side is false, then it will never go and check with my right hand side. I hope you all know that, correct? So first value is going to be 2 modulo 5. No, it is not equal to 0. The condition false. So I'll be coming back, coming out of my loop, and then I will increment to 2, sorry, 1. So now I'll be having the value as 4. So 4 modulo 5, either it is divisible by 5. No, it is not divisible by 5. So the condition false. So now I increment. So I will increment to 3, sorry, 2. So now 6 modulo 5. 6 modulo 5 is it divisible by 5? No, it is not divisible by 5. Again, now it is going to be 8. 8 modulo 5. No, it is not divisible. Again, 12. 12 modulo 5. No, it is not divisible. So none of the value in my array is divisible by 5. So what is the value that will be stored in max? So max remains as it is. So max will be -1. So I'll be returning -1. So this is the output. So this is the solution for my first program. So let's try to code it. So I'm going to use my Java coding. So whatever language you want, you can prefer. You can use it. Okay. So it is a simple for loop and if condition. So now what we are going to do is, so we are going to have a scanner class. Okay, so once I got the value, so now I'm declaring the variable. One is going to be n, another one is going to be d. So based on the size of n, I'm going to create my array. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get the value of n. So n equal to sc dot next int. So now after that, I'll be getting d equal to sc dot next int. Now after that, I'll be declaring an array. So which is going to be an integer array. So this is going to be an integer array arr, which is equal to new int of size n. So this is how I can define an array. So now after defining an array, I'm going to get the value from the user. So for that, I'm going to use my loop. So for int I equal to 0, I less than n, and then I plus plus. So array of I equal to sc dot next int. sc dot next int. So now I have got all the values. So now I can iterate through my entire array. So now for, okay, before that I have to initialize my max. So I should have a variable called max. So by default the max is going to be -1. So with this max I'm going to change all these things. So now for int I equal to 0, I less than n, and then I plus plus. So here what I'm doing is I'm just going to check my condition. If array of I modulo d is equal to 0. If it is equal to 0, then I'm going to check whether this given value, that is array of I, is greater than my max. If that is the case, then I'm updating my max equal to array of I. So once the loop is done, now the max will have the value, which either it is going to be a value inside my array or it is going to be a -1. So now what I'm doing is I'm just going to print that value. Println max. That's it. So now I'm just going to give the values here. So first one is going to be 5, second one is going to be 5, and third one is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now I'm going to execute this. Okay. Okay, next int I capital. So I have given n as capital. Sorry, I have to change that n to small. That is the error. So I hope you can see this error. So I cannot find next int where n is capital. Correct? That is what the error does given. So now I'm running. So now I will be getting the value as 5. That won't be a problem, sir. But in skill rack, normally they will give the array like this. So sometimes scanner may throw an error, but sometimes it will not throw an error. So, sir, if a value is given like this straight line, what can we do, sir? Okay, let's check here itself, sir. Okay, So after getting this n value, I'm going to get the n value, and after that, I'm going to get the d value. So now here what I'm doing is, instead of having all these values, I'm just going to have, so 5 going to be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and then 5. So now I'm going to run it. Okay, now it is taking it. Since it is a new version, it's accepting, but few compilers or the older compilers may throw an error. So what we can do is, we can read the entire thing as a single string array, as a string value, and then we can split these values based on my space. So that's what we can do. If it is going to be a value given in a single line, all the values are given in a single line, then we have to take everything as a string, and then we have to split it based on my spaces. Okay, fine. So now I can check with the different values. So now I can give it as, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 12. So now I'm going to run. So the answer is -1. So it is working for all the cases. Correct? So we have this visualized code. Okay, now CodeChef is also giving this visualized code option. So as you can see here, here we are going to assign these values. So here the input value and output value which we have given is there. So now we can, now we are going to try to execute this. So just I'm going to, okay, what I can do is I can just share you this link. Okay, so can you all take that code? Can you all able to click here link that is present as a sticky message? So I hope that is working fine. So if you have any questions, you can post it in chat box, or else we can go to the next question. Okay, so now I'm going to start with the next program. So I hope everyone is having this link so that you can try to yourself. So now I'm just opening my second question. Okay, this is one interesting problem. I hope you all guys have seen in Apti also the same problem. Print the grandson name. So now the program must accept first and last name for three persons. So who are in a family tree, and print the grandson's name and print the grandson's name. So the input is, the first line contains the first and last name of the person one separated by spaces. The second line contains the first and last name of the person two separated by spaces. The third line contains the first and last name of person three separated by spaces. The first line contains the output should be the only one line that we have to print, that is going to be a grandson. Grandson's first name and last name. Okay, sir. Now tell me, how can we do this? And there is a note that they have given. The last name of a person is nothing but the father's first name. The last name of a person is nothing but the father's first name. So now, for example, um, okay, so for Arun Kumar, the last name is going to be Kumar, and his father's name is, who is his father? So whose name is starting with Kumar is going to be his father. Correct? Yes. Okay. Okay. Add plus one here. Add plus one in chat. Add a plus one. Plus one in chat. Okay. So guys, are you guys are there or not? Okay. So out of 900, only 116 are attending the session. So let's see. Let's see. Okay. What we are going to do here is, so we are going to take each and every name, and we are going to separate them into first name and last name. So based on my first name and last name, we are going to compare each and every person. So whoever's last name is going to be mapped with the first name of the previous person. Now we are going to make them as a generation, as his father. So that's what we are going to do now, because that is what the constraint that they have given. So whoever's last name is going to be ends with the someone's first name, then he is going to be son. Now the same goes for that person. So whoever's first name is matching with the last name of third person, now he is going to make grandson. So that's what we are going to do now. Is it clear? Okay, what we are going to do is, we are going to read three persons' name. So first thing is what we are going to do. So we are going to have three persons' names. So person one. Okay, so we are supposed to print Grandson name. Okay. Okay, sir. So now I have person one. So he has first name and last name. And now person two, he has his first name and last name. And person three, he has its first name and last name. So now what we are going to do is, so here they have given one constraint that, sir, the person's last name is going to be the father's first name. So for example, let's consider person one is going to be the grandson. So he has father's name. So now F2 is going to be, or the person 2 is going to be the father of person 1. Now, what will be the person's first name? This is going to be, yes, correct. So now what we have to do now? So we have to take first person's. So first person's first name, and you have to combine or to map with any of the second name. Correct? If anyone's name is mapped, now he is going to be a father. Correct? If it is not matching, now he's going to be a son or he's going to be a grandson. So that we can do later. Correct? So if it is not done, now what we can do, we can take the second person and we can combine or we can check with all the persons. Correct? So now when I'm taking F2 and I'm going to check with person one's last name. Now these two are equal. So now it tells that he is my father. Correct? Person two is father for person one. Is it correct? Is it correct? Okay. So now after that, what we can do is we can take second person name. So first person name. So now we have find out that, sir, this person is going to be my father. So now who is going to be his father? So that is what we have to do. Correct? Now what I will be doing is, so now I'll be taking this person's first name and I'm going to check. Sorry. Okay. Now I'll be taking this person's last name and I'll be checking whose first name is going to be compared. So that's what we are going to do. So we are going to take every person's first name and we are going to compare it with each and every person's last name. So whenever we find a match for it, now we are going to fix them as his father. Now, whenever we are going to see this, so whenever we are going to increment that, so whenever we are going to get counter as, so he's my first son, and now his son is going to be this person. Now this is the case where we'll be incrementing, so there'll be someone to tell me, see, he's my father, he's my grandfather, or he's my son, he's my grandson. That should be someone to tell me, correct? For that we are going to use an increment operator, which is called, which we can convert, we can keep it as a flag value or a counter value. So for whenever I'm going to tell that, sir, this person comes to the first, or he has a son, so whose name is going to be mapped with the someone's last name. Now he is my son, correct? Now I'll be incrementing my counter to 1. Now what I'll be doing is I'll be taking that person's first name and I'll be comparing with the rest of the person's last name. Now what happens? So now this will give me, if anyone is going to be mapped, now that will give me the grandson name. That's it. So now we are going to repeat this for each three steps, each person. So that's what we are going to do now. So first thing first, what we are going to do is, so first for, we are going to take the first name. So person P. So from person array, correct? So here I have these two names, correct? One is going to be my first name and last name. So I'll be taking this as first name. So this is going to be P of 0. Another one is going to be last name, which is going to be P of 1. So now, for this person, I want to find is there any grandson is there or not, or is he has a grandson or not. So for that, I'm going to have a counter. So counter equal to 0. So considering that he is my grandfather. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take now what I have to do, I have to check this last person name. So okay, so first person, this name, first name is mapped with anyone's last name. That's what we have to do, correct? So I'll be having one more loop. So in this loop, I'll be taking all the persons and from that person array, and what I'm going to do is, so that person should not be the same person, correct? The person which I'm going to map is not going to be the same person. So consider this is going to be P1 and P. So now the first condition should be if my P is not equal to P1, that should be not same person. And what happens now? I'm checking what I'm doing is I'm going to take this second name, that is person one's last name, and I'm going to compare with my person one's first name, that is going to be first name dot equals of p1's last name, correct? So the last name is going to be, the first name will always be at the index of 0, the last name will always be at the index of 1. So this is what we are going to do. When it matches, now we are going to increment my counter. If it is going to be equal, which tells that sir, this person P1 is son of this person. Now I'll be incrementing my counter. Correct? Is it clear? Is this step is clear? Come on, guys. Some answers. Okay, now what will be the second step? Sir, we have find out the first person or the son of the grandfather. Now what happened to? Now what we have to do? Now we have to check this person's first name is in last person name of any one person. Correct? That's what we have to do. So we can directly use it without a loop, or we can directly use it in a condition. So for example, first one is we are going to check with the person one, and second one we are going to check with the person two, and third one we are going to check with the person three. But what happens is we'll be having a line of code which will check that is he going to be person one, is he going to be person two, is he going to be person three. Then based on that we'll be checking it. So it is direct as it is. So for example, if you're not going to use my loop, so for example, what I can do is I can directly check, sir, if person one dot last name is equal to, that is the equals of person two dot first name, then so what I'm considering is I'm considering this person one as my grandfather. So that's what I'm doing here. So if it is equal, then I'm going to check person two's last name. That is person two's last name dot equals of person three dot first name. If this is the case, okay, did I change the condition? Okay, just a minute, I'm checking it. Sir, what is the condition? The first, okay, the last name of person one is nothing but the father's name. Okay, good. Okay, last name So the last name of a person is nothing but the father's first name. The father's first name. The father's first name. The first name is going to be the father's name and the last name is going to be son's name. So now this person one is going to be my son. And if that is the case, then I'm going to check whether person two's last name is going to be the son of person three. If that is the case, then person one is going to be my grandson. Grandson. So now I'll be directly displaying this. So I have to repeat this step. I have to repeat this step. If it is not equal, so for example, if this is not equal, then I have an option like person 3 dot first name. Correct? So person 1 dot last name dot equals of person 3 dot first name. And then again I have to compare that person 3 with person 2. That is what these steps that we have to follow. Okay. So instead of doing this, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep it in a condition or in a loop so that I'm taking this person one and with that person one, I'm going to compare with all the other person. If there is anyone whose name is going to be equal to my first name, if that is the case, then he is going to be considered as my son. Now, whenever this counter is reaching 2, that is, if my count is equal to 2, then he is my grandson. So now I can print that print of that first name and P1 dot last name. So he is going to be considered as my grandson. Okay, sir. So this is what the logic that I have built up. Okay. So let's check this out. If it is not working properly, then we can go with a different solution. So just you guys try it out. Try it out and tell me whether it is working fine or not. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Try this out. Try this out and tell me whether it is working fine or not. So now we can go with the next problem because it is already time. At least we can solve 3 problems. So, so I hope the third problem is very easy. Okay, this is a normal binary search problem. So we'll be having 1 to n values. What we have to do is we have to print it in a alternate way. So this is normal binary search value. The starting index is going to be my first value 1 and the last index is going to be the value n. So what we have to do is whenever I'm going to, so I'll be starting a binary search loop where my start is less than my n. First I'll be printing my start and then I'll be incrementing my start value. Similarly, if my start is less than my n, then I'll be printing my end and then I'll be decrementing my n value. It's a very basic, simple problem. So this one is very easy. So third problem. So problem 3 is binary search. So binary search or it is an alternate printing problem. So what we can do is, so we'll be having the start value as 1 and n value as my n. So now I'll be using my binary search while my start is less than or equal to my n. So here what I'll be doing is, so first I'll be printing my start value. So here print of my start and then I'll be incrementing my and then I'll be incrementing my start. So now the start will increment from 1 to 2. So similarly, if my start is less than my end, so just for an exit condition, that's it. Now I'll be printing end, and then I'll be decrementing my n minus minus. So I hope this will pretty much do it. So this is a normal binary search problem, or we can also call it as a two-pointer technique. So where we have start and end, which will act as a two pointers. So starting pointer and the end pointer. So start pointer will be incrementing and the end pointer will be decrementing. So now where I have to stop whenever the start and end are interchanging. That is where my exit point. So that is what my loop has been exiting. So I hope this is also easy for you. Hello. Okay, there is some problem with my network issue. So I'll be stopping the session now so we can see on tomorrow's session. Thank you.